Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast, West Denver. Here's a quick message from our sponsor, Local Works Wheat Ridge, provided by its Executive Director, Paige Piper.
Local Works is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to make Wheat Ridge a more vibrant and sustainable place to live and work. Our mission and action is programming that provides neighborhood revitalization and small business support, keeping and growing the businesses we know and love in Wheat Ridge. In simpler form, we provide connection. Connection to business, connection to community.
This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Amber Betts.
Hello there. This is Amber Betts with the Good Neighbor Podcast, West Denver. I am here with Erin of Luv of Pawz. Hey, Erin. Thanks for being here.
Hi, Amber. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So tell us about your business and what you do.
Yeah. So I'm in the business of, or I own a business. It is a luxury mobile pet service. So we provide doggie daycare, 30-minute walks, and we provide in-home and boarding for dogs of all sizes, breeds, everything like that. So
awesome. And you're like Denver metro area, is that?
Yeah. So
Okay.
We service all over Wash Park. I do come into the Wheat Ridge, Arvada area, definitely the Highlands, low high.
Yep.
And I've kind of started to dabble into the Lakewood area as of lately. So,
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's where our listeners are. So that's great.
Yes.
So tell us about how you got started, your story, how you got into the business.
Yeah. I actually created this company kind of on a whim. But 2020, we didn't really know what was happening. I've been in the business of sales and marketing almost my whole life. 2020 happened. I got laid off of the job that I had. And I had been doing this on the side for about 10 years. I reached out to some of my clients. One of the only activities that we could do in 2020 was to be outside. So I will just go and make myself happy and hang out with some fur babies. And lo and behold, I had built such a clientele back then that they helped me just kind of spread the word. And within probably about 3 months, I was doing it full time, just kind of going out and strictly doing dog walks. Building my clientele, I took that whole year to really just market myself and really figure out what, Denver was looking for and what Denver needed. And then year 2, I invested in a car, in really a van, and was really able to build up my business and start doing more of a daycare. There is one point where I was walking about 14 dogs at a time. And thank God for Wash Park, because those streets are very wide.
Right.
It really acclimated to what I was trying to do, but walking this many dogs was just not ideal for the long run, really, with how much traffic and everything that we have. So I actually found an app during COVID. It's called Sniff Spot. And it was originally, I think, created for more of the aggressive, non-dog friendly community so that they could go have off-leash time. So I started taking my packs out to these private plots of land. It's protected, it's secure. Nobody else messes with us as far as other dogs or humans. And that is really, really taken off. So I have just built my book of business around that. And we obviously do overnight care as well. So between that and my team that I've recently hired, we're all kind of dabbling in all of these services and helping out Denver. So
amazing. So tell us, I've heard of these different services. Some are mobile, some aren't. But why do your clients choose you, or what kind of sets you apart? What makes you special?
Yeah. I pride myself on relationship building. Denver is a dog city. It's not going anywhere, and this entire market is extremely competitive. So I really found a niche in building a relationship with my clients. At every single meet and greet, I let them know that my relationship with them being the owner is just as important as the bond that I will make with their dog. Knowing who is going in and out of your home, taking your dog, all of the care and the education that comes behind. They do say that dogs are the new kids. So I treat this as though they are my babies, and I care for them as though they are my babies. So what really sets us apart is, it's more of an individual and a customized care. Any kind of medications, any kind of feedings throughout the day. It's more, I keep my pack really small as well. And it is individualized. So even just during daycare, they're only dealing with me and they're bonding with me. We really get into a routine over here. We like to play games. I really figure out who is playing really well with each other. We deal with a lot of different sizes of dogs. I think my smallest dog, is a Bichon. So he might be about 8 pounds. And then going up to, I've got great Pyrenees mixes in there as well. And so just making sure that everybody plays well together. We learn a lot about manners over here. But yeah, it's more of just a very personalized experience. And my team, you'll bond with my team as well, just like you will me. Their relationship is just as important. So, we really piggyback off of some of the bigger companies like Wag and Rover. But we really stay within the community. So that way, when you're referring somebody, you're essentially referring a friend and somebody that you trust. So trust is huge within this industry.
Great. That's important because pets, you said, are babies.
Yes. Because at the end of the day, even when I started this business, I was watching dogs in home or pets in home. And it's a lot of responsibility because you're not just watching the dogs, you're also watching somebody's home. And that's really, really important to make sure that they feel safe, that you're not having people over, that you are doing exactly what you're saying that you're doing. And I've learned even through like hiring processes and things like that, how difficult I think it can be of people's mindset within this industry. So it's a lot more in-depth details that are really important to the client. And I make sure to pay attention to those.
Love it. So tell us about any life challenges, hardships that kind of made you stronger or better in your business or as a person.
Yeah. I feel like, especially within this industry, even though I am trying to offer the same services on a daily basis, we are dealing with dogs. So you are not going to have the same day ever. I have dealt with, in the 3 years, knock on wood, I'm a little hesitant even just to mention this, but I've only had one tussle of essentially a dog fight within my group. I just finished up my 3rd year, going on my 4th. So I'm pretty proud of that. But that dog fight was pretty intense. It was unfortunately between, a pit bull and a German shepherd, which I protect my dogs and I protect my breeds, till the end of, time. So it was pretty intense, and me being the only person and, having to wrangle up 14, probably 15 different dogs, even after the fight, and getting them to the vet. It was a pretty intense day. But I have educated myself. I go through trainings. I take a lot of classes. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I have a lot of relationships with vets that are in the community as well, that I ask a lot of questions. And even when I was renting out spaces or I'm running daycare out of my house, I know where the closest vet is. So just in case things like this happen, I can react quickly. So I was able to get that dog. And the bite wasn't very severe. It was a puncture wound to his leg, but it was deep enough that it did need staples. But I was able to get him to the vet in under 10 minutes. While still having all the dogs with me, anchored in, separated, everything like that. And it was a really, really intense moment. But we were able to handle it, communicate with the client or the owners as well of everything that was going on, but still handling everything from the ground up. So that is something that I have to be cautious of every single day. Being a mobile business, you deal with traffic. I think I've had 7 flat tires this year.
Oh,
So
God.
I have learned a skill in how to switch out that tire. But Colorado's under construction all the time. So I know that this is going to be something that you're going to run into, being mobile as well. And I'm a strictly outdoor daycare. So we deal with all kinds of weather, and I work in all kinds of weather, as long as it's safe for me and as long as it's safe for the dogs. Obviously the extreme hot days, there's very few and far between, but we have had to cancel those days just out of safety or keep things short. And then same with the really negative degree days. But other than that, we are out in the rain, we are out in the mud, we are out playing. So sometimes your dog gets a little dirty, so that they are not quite in the same condition that I picked them up in. But we guarantee a lot of fun. So, but no day is the same. No dog is the same. And I deal with a lot of different personalities, but you just kind of have to roll with the punches and keep it moving. So, because the day's not going to stop for you.
Great. Well, it's good to hear that you're prepared. That's kind of important.
Yeah, absolutely. Life makes sure of that.
Yeah. So, Erin, tell us about any like updates, specials, news, anything like that.
Yeah. As far as any kind of updates, I recently switched over to a portal. I'm a one-man show over here. I do have a team that's under me. I have 2 gals, Brittany and Danielle, who I adore and have made my team so much stronger. But switching to the portal has made everything much easier for my clients as far as scheduling, canceling, things like that. Going into the next year, I am anticipating hiring at least 2 to 3 more people. If it happens to go more, that's great. I'm taking 1 month at a time now. I have been preparing for a lot more package pricing, which I think my clients will love. And then I'm hoping to potentially get into a bigger vehicle, just based on the need and the want within my clients. So a lot of things are on the books, but one thing that I've learned about owning a business is you have a plan, but sometimes life has another path that is a little bit more beneficial. So we'll see what this new year has for us.
Amazing. Well, that's good. The growth is good.
Yes, growth is good.
So obviously you're super busy. I get it. But what do you do for fun? What do you do outside of work? What's going on in your life?
Yeah. So it all just kind of depends on the season. Obviously, we're rolling into the winter season. I am a native of Colorado, so I have skiing in my blood. I go boarding. So I usually take Sunday, Mondays off, and that's usually what I'm going to start doing here soon. Other than that, I love spending time with my family, going out with my friends, just trying to get anything that's probably doesn't include dog hair or getting out of my sweatpants that doesn't include dog hair. It's a very rare occasion that I'm out of sweatpants. And then obviously my whole family's here. So any kind of getting time to go up north and go see them, I do. So
amazing.
Yeah.
And anything you want to share with us that's like more community focused, or how do you get involved?
So a big one that I have, not necessarily partnered with, but definitely keep track of, and I sponsored one of their events, is Colorado Pet Pantry. They are a huge food bank here within Colorado. I think it's a great program. I've met a handful of people who volunteer and work within this community, and it's a great thing. They sponsor, I think going into 2024, I read recently that they're trying to feed 100,000 pets in a month.
Wow.
Which is great. They're trying to keep dogs out of shelters. So I'm a big advocate for that. I also advocate for aggressive dogs. At the end of the day, a lot of dogs have been through a lot of trauma, and the amount of people who really help out, and that's why I really push Sniff Spot, because it does give them an opportunity to really be a dog, while taking the stress off of a lot of the owners too. So, but I mean, aside from just kind of helping everybody when they're on vacation and really entrusting in me to help out their babies and trust me with their homes, and having a really stress-free vacation, especially with this the virus that's going around. I am pretty much trying to just keep updated with what's going on. It seems a little bit like a dog COVID is kind of what I'm calling it. There is so much information kind of spiraling around, but nothing seems to be confirmed or secure in keeping our pets safe. Running something that has a lot of group dogs and things like that, while keeping everybody safe is a little confusing. But I have spoke with a lot of vets, and they seem to really be pushing this influenza vaccination. So we are really trying to at least educate everybody, within the community. But I highly urge everybody to at least just have a conversation with your vet.
Right.
And make sure that you have a vet that you trust. And if you don't, I definitely have a list of tons of vets that I have really built relationships with here within, the Denver metro area that I trust. And I think give really, really good advice. So we're following them. My social media, I'm pushing through as much information on it that I can. It's scary, but at the end of the day, I don't think illness is, it's inevitable. That I think that this is going to come around. So however we can protect them and act quickly is kind of my main focus right now.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, so that just about does it. Tell us, Erin, how folks can reach you, your website, how to schedule, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So my website is www.furtheloveofpawz.com. That will have your portal entry. There's also a tab for new clients. It's a huge form. You can just kind of tell me a little bit about yourself, what you're looking for. From there, it's relatively easy. We'll set up a meet and greet in person at your home. And at most meet and greets, it's about 10 to 15 minutes. I can answer any questions, kind of educate you more on what I do. I also have an Instagram. I do have a Facebook. I don't push too much through Facebook. Instagram seems to have the most movement. We post pictures from daycare, from overnights. It's a really, really fun page. We always love positivity and happiness that's coming across social media. So we're really trying to create something within our page. But if you message me on there, my phone number is also listed. Please give me a call. Outside of that, I think it's relatively easy. I'll always give you a call if you fill out my form, and we'll kind of go from there.
Awesome. And spell it for us, because I know you have a unique way of spelling it.
Absolutely. So fur is F-U-R, the Luv of Pawz, and it's a Z at the end.
Okay. Awesome. Well, Erin, thank you so much for joining us. It's so cool to learn about your business and what you do, taking care of all the fur babies out there.
Thank you, Amber. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. And then I want to give one little shout out. We have a new sponsor in our area. It's called Eternal Friends Home Niche. I just wanted to shout out to them because they are pet focused. And what they do, it's a way to memorialize your pet, like past pets. And it's an in-ground niche, which is almost like I describe it as like a time capsule that's put into your yard. So I'm going to share the website. It's Eternal Friends, E for Eternal, F for Friends, Home Niche. So EF Home Niche, niche is NICHE.com. So go check that out. It's pretty cool. So anyways, thanks again, Erin. And thanks for the listeners.
Thank you very much, Amber. Appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpwestdenver.com. That's gnpwestdenver.com or call 720-295